Hey everybody, it's the Running Geek back with another episode of Let's Play Minecraft. I hope everybody is doing and I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. I know that I am. So over my shoulder there, you can see I've done some work down here and just kind of in preparation and planning and that sort of thing. You know, we've got a long way to go on this factory. But, you know, just small improvements here and there. You know, this is going to be an awesome thing when it's done. We have a long ways to go. So I know it's kind of looking a little bit rough around the edges for now. But I think what I want to do is I want to get these farms established so that when we're down here working, kind of making this thing look good, we're also doing all the farming and gathering that we can. So we're spending some good time down here. So what I did is I substituted the light gray concrete in the walkway for the dark or just a regular gray concrete, and I think that really differentiates the floor a little bit more, so you kind of know where you need to walk. This area right here, I think, is going to be a pallet area for some hay and that sort of thing. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And I've got some great ideas for some decorations and stuff that we can do to kind of really start to make this look like a factory. But for today, I want to really just jump right into our episode. All right, so I'm working on the pumpkin and melon farm, and we're doing them together because they grow faster if they're not next to each other. And this farm is actually based on a design from Il Mango, and his video will be in the description below, so you can go and watch that for a full explanation. Now, I have done a few modifications to it. I think the most notable modification is that his farms are in an odd number of floors, and then they tend to be 3 to 5 levels high. But I actually ran out of room here. I can't actually go up another level without cutting into the ceiling, and I really don't want to go much higher with this than the factory floor. So what I did was, instead of having one tower, I actually have 2 that are next to each other. So let me kind of just show you just a few quick things. Again, he does a great job of explaining how this works. So, if you're interested in the mechanics of this, I encourage you to go watch his video. But the idea is that the minecart will come across here, hit these detector rails, which will then, if I could actually get up here correctly, which will then push the pistons down and break the melons and the pumpkins, and I'll show that to you. And then the cart will travel and it'll pick them up underneath, and then we've got 2 layers of that. So that's all working great, and I'll show that to you here. But I've run into a couple of not problems, but a couple of places where we may want to make some improvements. So let me show you the base functionality here. So we're going to put the minecart with a hopper in it. That is so that it can pick everything up from the level below. So let me place this on the tracks, and then we'll come up here so you can kind of see it in action. But you can see the pistons breaking not only the melons but the pumpkins as well, and then those will end up on the field itself, so they're just going to sit there, and then when the minecart actually drops here, you'll see the minecart drop from that layer down to here, so that will be coming up, and there it goes, and now it's going to actually start picking those things up, and you can see it's already started to grow back. Which is just phenomenal. It's really fast. So there it's picking up all of the pumpkins and the melons. Meanwhile, it's also hitting those detector rails underneath for the bottom layer, breaking all of those melons and pumpkins down there. So now you can see, now it fell down, and it's going to go through and pick them up. Then what we've got here is a simple unloading system. So when the minecart comes all the way around here, it will unload itself. And right now I just have it going into a chest here. It's almost done. It's coming around. One last spin. It'll Okay, we've got it going. It's going too fast again right there. Okay, so we got to slow that down. If it hits that wall too fast, it'll ricochet out beyond that powered rail. So I wonder, let's just take this out, and I don't know if I have any other rails. Actually, let's just leave it for now. But anyway, so that's kind of the idea, and I've been, here is all the pumpkins and melons I've collected so far. So it's it's fast. But a couple of things that I want to talk to you about, and a couple of problems that I've run into with this is, number one is we're definitely going to want to turn this farm off. So we need some sort of on-off switch. And what I'd like to do is just have the cart sit here when I turn it off, which means we need to connect some sort of AND gate to a lever or something like that, that the minecart will just stay here until I turn it back on. One of the reasons that we need to do that is that if the minecart gets stuck underneath the farm here, I'm going to be kind of helpless to actually get it. And so we don't want that to happen. Oh, you can see now the actual hopper minecart stopped there. It's going to sit there and unload until it's empty. So you can see the melons unloading. And so we don't want that to happen. So when we leave the area, we want to turn the farm off. And so we want to do that. The other issue that I have kind of foreseen as well is that when the melons break, we get melon slices. We don't actually get full melons, and so we need to craft those back into melons. And the one of the reasons that we need so many melons is for villager trading when we build a villager trading hall. So we need to craft those melon slices back into actual full melons. And there's a couple of ways that we can do this. I can go ahead and send those melon slices through the silo and storage system and then craft them from there. Or I could pre-sort them here and craft them into melons and then put them back into the system as well. So I think what I want to do, and I think that's the later is what I want to do. So what I was thinking is this wouldn't be just a rectangle here. We kind of have this be an odd shaped farm, and we might do something like this where we've got 4 separate stations. Let's put kind of something like this, and then we'll just kind of pillar up here, which will be fine. So what I was thinking is we want an easy way to craft these, and maybe let's just go 3 high for now. Okay. And then we'll come back down here, and what I was thinking is that we would be able to come in this like little room, and we would just break the chest, which would be full of melons. There'll be a crafting bench below here, and then we can craft those into melons. And then we'd have some sort of like input chest like right there where we could put all the melons. And then also in here we'd also have a on-off switch as well. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And then over here I was thinking that we could really make some like big pallets of melons and pumpkins and that sort of thing. Just kind of make it look like we're kind of can get ready to ship those or something like that. It would be kind of cool, I thought. So yeah, that's what I really need to do here. And so we're going to have to move this track around and do some finagling, but those are kind of the issues that I saw with this. So the redstone for this contraption is, I think, all done and wired up. Again, we've got kind of our control room set up here. And what we're going to have is these chests, and there's going to be 12 of them, are going to fill up with watermelons. You can see they're kind of funneling in, and the idea is that you would just break the chest with your axe, which would then cause the melon slices to spill all over, which then you could reference a crafting table and make all of your melons from there. Then you would take your melons and place them into the input chest just like that. And then those will filter down to this dropper right here, which then goes into that water stream. Now that water stream is going down the center of the farm there, which you can see the melons are floating away. and then those melons go all the way to our bulk storage silo. Now, the reason I did this is because you do have to craft up the actual melon, the full melons from the melon slices, and so I didn't want to send the melon slices up through the silo system because, that's a lot to go through there, and I really just need the melons for villager trading. So that's that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to, this is going to be a glass like column here, so you'll be able to see everything kind of spitting out. And then this right here, the last thing in the control room is the on-off switch. But before I turn that on, let me go through just a couple of things here. So this chest has a hopper line that just goes into the dropper. The dropper has a clock on it and spits those out. Now, the melon slices are a little bit more complex because we have to kind of filter them out. So let me show you what the rail line does. So once this rail line comes through here, it's going to actually make its way up the hill here. It's going to kind of go around this way. It will go through here and go up to here. And the reason I did this is because I wanted all the controls above the control room so that area over there can kind of be wide open. So the rail will come up here, and then with this kind of switch track right here, it'll go straight across here. This is the unloading station. So it will actually unload everything into this chain of hoppers. Right below that second hopper is a sorting system, and that sorting system has our, let me come down here. This is going to filter out our melon slices. So there's our 41 melon slices, and then of course our filter blocks. So that will then filter down into this set of hoppers, and what will happen is remember, hoppers always fill down first. So the melon slices will come down here and they'll go all the way to the bottom chest and then fill this line up. Then when this gets full, they'll go to the next one and the next one and the next one. And I don't envision doing too much here with the melon slices once it's full, right? So I don't plan on creating a bunch of melons until these are really full with melon slices, unless I actually need it. Now, anything else that's coming through the line follows this hopper chain, but we're going to pass these chests here, so that hopper chain then meets up with this one. This one goes in this direction, and then this is a dropper that's pointed down, so you can see it's pointed down right there, and then they're going to fall right into this water line. Of course, we've got tons of decorating to actually do here. So this is just essentially the redstone at work. I wanted to show this to you before we get the decorations, and it's kind of hard to see kind of what's going on. So the pumpkins and anything else would fall down in here. That goes to the water stream, which again goes to our bulk storage silo. I also have both the silos set up for melons and pumpkins as well. And then this is the on-off switch. If we turn that on, you can see there goes the minecart right now, and that will start the harvest process. So there's the pistons kind of going away there, and let's make our way up here so you can kind of see how this works with the filtering system. And then that on-off switch goes up this redstone chain, which is going to go right over to this block right here. So if that switch is on, this redstone powered rail will be on, and then it'll hit that block and then just immediately go into harvest mode. When it's off, the minecart will actually stop right here because again, we don't want this farm on when we leave the chunks, because what could happen is the minecart could stop, especially underneath one of these dirt blocks here, and that will make it hard for us to get the farm going again. But we should see that the minecart should be going back and forth on that bottom level there, and you can see the pumpkins are already regrowing, and the minecart should be coming up momentarily. There we go. There's the minecart, and there it goes, and it's going to go right in. Oh, you know what? We've got to slow that down here, and let's push that back. If the cart is going too fast, it'll bounce right off that. So we've got to, I guess, lower. Man, I already thought I already lowered that it's a lot of rails to go up, but I guess we can move that one back to make sure that that goes. So now those are being unloaded, and then once that's done unloading, how many more do we have? Okay, so we got just a little bit here. Once that's unloading, it will go right down over here, and because it switches on, it'll bounce right off. There goes the minecart, and then that's going to go right there, and then it will start the harvest process again. So, and you can see already, let's jump down here, you can see already, there's already pumpkins and melons that have grown. So with this thing continually running, it will continually harvest things, which is just great. And of course right now the pumpkins are going all over because that dropper, we don't have a column of blocks in there to kind of block that up. Yeah, so that is the main controls of the system. All right, so we have got the finishing touches done on the pumpkin and melon farm. This came awfully close to my current wall edges, so I definitely have to do some mining work and things of that nature just to give it a little bit more clearance. We definitely want to go back about 20 more blocks that way, so that none of our farms are that close to the factory wall, because I think in that direction that's going to be one wall over there. So I used orange. I know that kind of represents the pumpkin, and nothing represents the color for the watermelon, but I didn't want to mix colors, so I decided to kind of go with orange over here. Stayed in the traditional design, used the white stained glass panes. I think that looks pretty cool, but I want to kind of show you some functionality that I've got and put in here. Back in this area here, this is going to be I think some pallets. I think we'll stack pallets of pumpkins and watermelons and that sort of thing. And you saw the pumpkins spitting out in the background there. So what we've got is up here, that's where the pumpkins actually come out at. And here, right here, is our watermelon sorting system. So again, we're going to get watermelon slices, and what we want to do is we need to craft those into full watermelons. So what I did was I've got these 4 chests right here, and I've got a lighting system, and this lighting system tells me when the 3 stacked chests here are completely full. So this stack right here is completely full of watermelons, and I think I'm out already going on the second stack here. So this is going on my 4th double chest of watermelon slices. So this farm is crazy cool and crazy fast, so which is awesome. And then we've got our harvest on off switch here. So if I turn this off, the next time that cart up there goes to the stopping point, it'll just stop and it won't continue to harvest the farm. But for now, I'm going to leave it on because we want to harvest as much as we can. And then I thought that we would continue that glass throughout the floor here so you could kind of see the pumpkins and watermelon as they get spit out. So let's actually real quickly just grab 4 of these. So you can, or maybe 8 even. Oh, actually we have to do, I think we have to do 9. I think it's 9 melons. Yeah, it's 9 melon slices to make 1 pumpkin. So we've got 7 watermelons there. So we just put the watermelons in here, and then that will start filtering out to that dropper right there. And you can see they're being spit out. And then it goes down the ice path, and then that goes to our storage silo. So that will work out really well. Let me grab my axe and show you how we're going to do this kind of efficiently. So if we break these chests right here, and you can see all the watermelon slices coming out, and we break that as well. Ooh, I didn't think about that. Interesting. Okay. We might have to change around a few things, but that's okay. So if we come in here and we start crafting up our watermelons, and with the way they do the crafting now, this is so easy to craft all our watermelons. So let's just keep crafting, and they'll go into our inventory as we craft them. So which makes it really easy and efficient. Okay, and it looks like we've got most of them except for the ones up there, which is fine. And then we can toss these into, oh, look at all of those. That's awesome. That's really a good sight to see. That's been great for villager trading. I cannot wait to get that involved here. So let's get that all added to the chest here so those can start spitting out. and then those will filter out through. Now that those watermelons have filtered back, it is time for us to put our chest back here. So if we just kind of do something like this and not that. Man, this is not... we may want to put some more bricks around there so that we don't have to keep doing that. But if we do something like this, and then do that, and then do that, that should put those chests back. And I've got to grab the one from up there so we can do that. So not a big deal. I think I'll add some more stone bricks around here to make it very easier to put the chests back in, and make it so that that's easier to do. And then here's our maintenance access. We can come through here. We've got a chest. I've just got some spare parts in there, crafting bench. And then, of course, we did make it so that you can walk around the entire farm here. And what I did was, for this walkway, I wanted to be able to get down here to see if the minecart gets stuck. I'll be able to easily see. And there you can see there's pumpkins flowing through our water stream right there, going off to the silo. And then you can go and look at the tracks here. And then we've got a staircase over here that we can go up. And we can get to this section of the track right there. So not a problem. We can view all of that. Then we can go up here. Here is all of the internal mechanics of the farm itself. Let's grab all of this stuff here, and then we'll change that around so that's a little bit easier to manage and handle. I think actually if we just put blocks, like maybe even stairs there, I think that would suffice. Oh wow, we've got quite a few slices up here. So yeah, so you can get to all the mechanics, and then if I need to, I can get. I can follow this track all the way up here, and I can get to the very tippy top as well. And I did use, oh, come on now. I did use jack-o'-lanterns for the light source. I thought that would be kind of cool in here since it is orange. It kind of matches. So I think that goes really well. So you can see the jack-o'-lanterns. I'm not sure if I'm crazy about the orange glass top ceiling. I think it's fine for now, and I think that'll work. But yeah, so that's kind of the pumpkin and melon farm. Let's go up and let's go see how many pumpkins we've gotten from this farm so far. The pumpkins are flowing in. Oh, this is awesome. I know it doesn't look like a lot here, but there is a solid stream of pumpkins. I think the problem is that this chunk right here, I don't think is loaded when we are at the pumpkin farm itself. So you can see it's just one solid stream of pumpkins, and they are just rolling in, which is just awesome. The other thing is that this has only been going since we've been building. So this hopper is full. That hopper is getting close there. Yeah, so it's just awesome. Really happy with the efficiency. El Mingo really did a nice job in designing a very efficient farm. As far as melons goes, I don't think I have too many in here. Well, there's 6, and then of course the hoppers there. That's just because I haven't crafted a whole bunch yet, but we'll get those rolling too. But yeah, guys, I think that is going to do it for today's episode. I know that this one's been kind of a little bit weird because it wasn't quite so buildy. There wasn't any time lapses, and I didn't really do a one-on-one building with you. But what I want to do is get that pumpkin and melon farm done. If you're really interested in that how that farm works, Il Mango's video, he did a great job. So you can find that link in the description. But I think we are going to work over here next. We're going to move back to the overworld and get out from the underground. I think my eyes need a little bit of a readjustment to natural light here. So I think we're going to be working in this area. We're going to do some terraforming, and we're going to be adding a new structure here to our farm outdoors. So stay tuned for the next episode for that. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day.